Well, hello there, folks. How are we doing today? Hopefully, you're all doing fantastic. This is Dawn of War Crusade. I decided I would play a little bit of the campaign because I really enjoy the campaign for this one. It's very good, and I like the story. I have mods installed for both this and Soulstorm. Main thing about both of those is that the Soulstorm stuff, Soulstorm campaign is all annihilation. You don't just do the you can't just go in and destroy the enemy HQ and be done. No, 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 no. You have to go in and destroy everything that's capable of production. Now the problem with that, the bot will sometimes be smart enough to start spreading out real early. So you'll want to run in and kill them, but then you get to scour the map to find every little place where they're hiding. Then, if you're on higher difficulty, to even get to the first original base, it's going to be a lot harder because they're... I've noticed that with the mod, the AI tends to just be a lot harder than the base game mod, or the base game AI. The other thing about that is some of the units get a little broken. It's all very fun, and I really enjoy doing skirmishes and messing around with the armies and sometimes playing with my friends. But for actual campaign, I also think that Soulstorm in general just has a worse campaign, with worse characters, worse voice acting, etc. Now, then you might say, well, Cat, why don't you do that or a similar mod, but in, Dark Crusade? Well, I have a mod for Dark Crusade that is very similar to that. Which one is it called? No Limit Titanium Wars mod. Problem with that one. A, there's no limit to units. That's not the biggest issue if you're just trying to play with like a ton of stuff on the board. Main thing though is that it turns this campaign into also Annihilation. So you have to go through and destroy everything. Once again, that just gets really tedious to me, especially when you're doing the minor combats and you want to get to the big combat. And then the big combat becomes just so arduous and it makes it take forever. So it's just, I don't think it's worth it. So we're just playing base game based on a War Dark Crusade because I like the story in this. I like the campaign in this a lot. I like the way you level up your hero. And I think it's good. The only complaint I actually have about the base game is that I wish the zoom out. You could zoom further out. I was playing and I messed around with it a little bit. We're just going to do normal. Because I'm going to be talking and I don't want to be too focused on the game itself. Now, the next thing is, what faction do we play? I started with the Eldar just to play around and mess around with it a little bit. I really like the Eldar. In my time playing this, I have beaten it with every single faction. Part of the reason I might choose a specific race is that the way this campaign works is that basically there's a big map. Each of these individual factions have a stronghold. That is their main stronghold, and once you defeat that, you have technically beaten the faction. They're no longer allowed to move around and conquer new spaces or anything like that. Some of those strongholds are really annoying to deal with. Some are not that bad, but there are some that I personally think, especially on the higher difficulties, we're just on normal, so it's not that big of a deal. But on higher difficulties, get incredibly tedious and very annoying. I personally think the Necron one is kind of annoying. However, if you have the right units, you can kind of do it real sneaky. It's actually pretty funny. But for this is also gonna be like the character that we're mostly paying attention to. I'm very tempted to go with either Tau or Eldar because those are two of my favorites. And although I am a big Space Marine fan, everybody knows I really like Space Marines. I'm just not that big of a fan of the Blood Ravens, to be perfectly honest. I think they're all right, but the meme about them just stealing everything gets funny. However, I would say that out of all of these, probably my favorite to play would probably be the Tau. So I think we're just going to go ahead and go Elf. Because we're doing something different here. And you know what? I'm also going to just give myself this ahead of time. if I start playing the Eldar and I just start to think they're boring or something like that, I will just switch to a different faction. Imperial Guard, just to go over this, in Dawn of War, I play them on the tabletop sometimes, but in Dawn of War, I personally think they're kind of one of the more boring factions to play. They have a lot of neat stuff, but it's just not as neat to me as, like, ancient elves or cool, really advanced technology. Orcs are also fun, but then we don't get to hear the cool dialogue for the stronghold, so, you know. Actually, wait, then that just means that we get to hear all the dialogue for all of the strongholds. And orcs are clearly meant to be the victor. Who else could win? These are the difficult choices you have to make sometimes as a Warhammer cat. Oh yeah, we're just gonna go with the Eldar. We're just gonna go with the Eldar. I like the Eldar. I've been reading about them a little bit. Something that I really wish the Eldar had more actually good. Oh, here, I'll let him talk for a second.
Foresaw the return of the Necrons and their campaign of galactic genocide. She had driven the Imperial Guard on Lorne 5 against this ancient foe, but the threat remained real. When the Necrons rose on Cronus, Taldir faced a new problem. This planet on the galaxy's edge was beyond the reach of the Eldar webway. Instead of traveling from the craft world via this ancient system, Taldir's forces arrived aboard her wraith ship, the Vision of Lilith. This alien vessel hid at the edge of the system while an advance party took a small shuttle to the frozen wastes of Tyria. There, they erected special gateways linked to the holds of the Vision of Lilith. The Eldar found the planet in a sorry state. The Necrons were on the march, and the assortment of other powers on Cronus could not be trusted to stop them. Abandoning her habitual manipulations, Taldir ordered her forces to begin an all-out conquest of Cronus. If none of the Mon-Kai would stop the Necrons, the Eldar would do it themselves.
Fine, I'll do it myself. Since you can't. I'll also say you can tell that this game's a little bit older because the lore with the Necrons is that they're just going to start an all-out genocidal crusade and then, you know, kill everybody, apparently.
Welcome to the single-player campaign for Dawn of War.
And they're just going to kill everybody, apparently. That's kind of not really the way the Necrons are now. The Necrons now, it basically just depends on the dynasty. Different dynasties have kind of different ways of dealing with, you know, non-Necrons. Some of them are... friendly might be a bit of a strong word, but some of them are certainly a little different. And, some can be outright friendly, but some are just, you know, still genocidal monsters and things like that. It kind of depends on the individual dynasty.
We will fulfill God's squad. Ready.
And, yeah. Anyway, I also really do enjoy Eldar. I really wish they would just get better novels. The novels written from the Eldar perspectives are just always kind of bad. And I think part of it is that I think, in all honesty, GWA doesn't actually care that much about the Eldar story, but I also think it's just a old-fashioned thing of I just don't really think they know how to write the Eldar. I really don't think it would be that difficult to write this kind of like mysterious ancient race that has all this stuff going on. You have so much stuff written for them and you could write them in so many different ways, and yet like every time it's just like this boring thing of like, oh yes, I foresaw it and now I'm gonna try and stop it, and then half the time they fail at it, so you're just like, well, okay, so you're trying to stop it but you're not even, but you seem like you're kind of bad at stopping it. I mean, honey, it's not even that I don't want you to fail. I'm just saying, like, it just seems like you're not very good at doing the, you know, stopping your enemies type thing.
It will be done.
it is also kind of interesting because they have this sort of honestly, it kind of reminds me of Star Trek, where they have this thing kind of going on where they have a lot of like they have these very ancient civilizations, but they're also like these incredibly conservative civilizations, kind of like how both the Klingons and the Vulcans and the Ferengi too are all actually like these weirdly conservative civilizations that don't really ever seem to want to advance. Well, it's not. I guess it's not that they don't want to advance. It's just that when they do advance, it's very, very slowly. And when you compare them to like humans, for instance, it feels like it takes eons for them to like truly advance. And they've had these same ships and the same kind of technology for an incredibly long time. And after a while, you're just kind of like, well, wouldn't it just when that stagnation eventually. They literally always ignore your warnings. They're not very smart. Well, actually, no, that's not necessarily true. Some of them are smart. The Blood Ravens, in particular, seem like they're kind of dumb. It's one of those things where it's like, I think about the lore of these games and like how often like Blood Ravens or someone like that just is like, no, I need this artifact, it's mine! And you're just kind of like, well, why exactly? And they just kind of get into this thing where they just kind of start to seem more and more like they're just like weird, stubborn children, you know, and it's like, okay, look, whatever, man, I'm just gonna, you know, let you do your thing here, and you know, if you happen to deign to do the intelligent thing, I'll just come and help you. But until then, I'm just gonna, hey, stop it. Well, slash. I do also think it's funny because, like, look at that. In a fairly short time there, that's 2 scouts and 4 space marines dead. And this always reminds me that one of the things that's really, I think, silly in 40k lore, and I think most people think this, or at least most people I talk to are into 40k lore think this, but like, since I'm talking so much, I think I might need to turn down their voices a little bit more. Oh, it's already really low. Let's see, this is just gonna make them mute. Yeah, it just makes them mute. I want to be able to hear them like a little bit. It's just that they're like, you know, they're always talking. And it's like just a teeny tiny bit. Just a teeny. What is it not moving? What? So see, like, we'll try that. I think that was where it was before.
Command me to.
Yeah, see, it's like at the exact same volume. Whatever, not that big of a deal, really. But yeah.
I will call it forth from the wall.
Now, I also understand that a lot of people don't like. Oh yeah, the numbers thing. I almost got completely sidetracked. Numbers in 40k almost never make any sense. Like, it's always funny to me that the Eldar are called this like dying race when you actually like stop and think about it. It's like, wait a minute, aren't there still like millions and billions of you? And then of course it's like it kind of depends on the author of like what the author wants to present, because sometimes the author, whoever's writing a story, will just present it like, oh yeah, no, there's like practically limitless Eldar, and then other times like, no, they're a dying race, we're gonna die any day now. It's like, you gotta, I think they gotta just make up their mind on that. Like, the idea of them being this dying race that like, you still have this very advanced technology is kind of neat. However, at the same time, I would just think that with this level of technology that you have, it wouldn't be that difficult to be not dying, I would think. And then, I mean, if you include the Drukhari and like the just the flat numbers, wouldn't, like, the Drukhari have tons of dudes and they can just clone. Like, they just clone over and over again. So how exactly are you a dying race? But, you know, whatever. What exactly do you actually expect from Warhammer storytelling? So no, and that's not to say that Warhammer storytelling is, like, for instance, never good or anything like that. But sometimes it is a little bit like,
shields have been built.
I've been watching, or I've been listening and watching to a lot of these guys, Tom and Ben, and they have like Warhammer lore stuff that they like to talk about. And sometimes they have a thing where it's like, is it Warhammer or no? Is it Lorehammer or Your Hammer? And the whole idea is that they find a ridiculous story, and then they also make up a ridiculous story about like Warhammer lore, and they try to present and like kind of confuse the other person so that they think, oh, so they guess, oh, this is you know the fake lore, but then it's like, you know, the actual lore and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, that's I think it's a fun little idea, or fun little idea. It's a fun podcast,
Judgment of the council.
and I greatly
Successful.
and I kind of greatly enjoy the way they play it, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Can I help?
Command me to build.
I'm just gonna keep conquering these things.
Nothing remains unchanged. We walk our path.
Is that true? Does nothing remain unchanged by the music of creation? I don't know if I believe you. Why are you lying to me? Oh, they do cost one. I completely forgot that. I should probably just build a shrine here. What I really need to do is build a webway gate so that I can just teleport dudes straight in. Oh, hey, you want to fight more? Now they're just sending their lone captain in. That is actually kind of a stupid thing that I could totally see a Space Marine captain doing. Just like, oh, there's a bunch of like incredibly advanced warriors over there, ancient beyond my reckoning. I'm gonna go charge in with my sword. Come here, Farseer, kill him. Smack.
Forgive me.
We have secured the area.
I do kind of wonder. Oldway is also one of my favorite craft worlds. I really enjoy them.
We walk our
Oh, that's right. That's what I was talking about. Sorry, I keep being sidetracked by people dying and trying to do things to me. How dare they? But like, yeah, and there are some stories in Warhammer lore that are just so silly, and it's not just old lore. Although the old lore, I would argue, is much sillier than the newer lore. But at the same time, I still think that
The enemy cannot hide.
I don't think keep sending like a hat, like just is that what they normally do on normal? I haven't played the unmodded version of this game in quite a while, honestly. So I'm almost kind of feeling like I could probably just
We are taking damage.
here. I'm just gonna build these two and then
Mission successful.
yeah, you guys, what are you doing?
Leadership lies with us.
Help.
My powers are yours now.
It is also kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure the basic Eldar weapon, the shuriken catapult, can actually just like straight up go through Space Marine armor, which would make you think, wait a minute, once again going back to the numbers thing, like how would you even be able to beat the Eldar if they're basic? Like, 'cause one of the main things is that they're fast, but they're also like, it's like the incredibly thick armor. It's like, okay, that's understandable. That would make sense. But if these guys have these monofilament weapons, basically, wouldn't they just cut through everything you have? Which would just mean that like you would just wouldn't you just win against those guys? I would think. Not like, and it wouldn't be impossible for the Space Marines to win, but just because of like the numbers thing, it's like if even the Eldar can deploy more people than you, how exactly do you intend to beat them? How does that actually work? And I mean, does it work? I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting because as much as I do love Warhammer, there is quite a lot of Warhammer lore that is just like so silly. I mean, the entire thing with the Psychic Awakening, so much of that felt so contrived after a while, and then, you know, I like Primaris Marines, for instance, but like the whole creation of them felt a little contrived because it's like this guy that I'm actually pretty sure that the Primaris I think Call is actually in a novel before the Primaris like officially become like a released thing, I think. but I could also be mistaken on that. I don't know. It was fun being Eldar because you can just build webway gates everywhere and just like teleport all over the place. Which, you know, I think that's pretty neat. Ah, warp spiders. Oh, I need a support portal. Wait, let's get...
The craft world sings to me and I respond in kind. We are shaped by fate.
Just as we shape it. Yeah. You say that a lot, my lady. Come, come, my lady. You're my butterfly, sugar, baby. Hey, why don't you guys come back and shoot this guy?
My music is a killer from which whole worlds have been built.
And
My music is a
yeah, this is weird. I remember the AI being at least a little bit better than that. Like, not just like walking a lone character right into like the jaws of... Okay, no, see, now there's at least a full Space Marine squad, but once again, this is like so many more dudes. Why would you even bother just like... I don't know. But I do think that the AELDARI are really cool. Oh, yeah, no, see, now they're actually sending more, yeah, let's eliminate this Space Marine squad, and then we can focus on the other one. Are you guys having this much difficulty just, like, focusing fire on, like... There's, like, 2 dudes left. Is it? Oh, okay, yeah, nah. Never mind. Okay, you guys need to back up because your main thing is your guns, not your... Wait, why are you... Uh-oh. Oh yeah, see, now they're sending some troopers in to actually mess me up a little bit.
command me.
But that's good.
Take me to where I may call forth the Wraithburn.
Alright. Let's build some more large lads. Uh-oh. Here. Let's back up to where we actually have our support platforms and things. Man, that was a good little battle there. Uh-oh. Oh. Well, I didn't say completely abandon the fight. Alright, you guys...
Voice of death calling to them.
You guys go there. You go there. We have plenty of points though now, so we can just... Oh, it does look like they did manage to kill Tall Deer. How dare they?
Few survive.
Oh wait, no, I'll just build another one. Oh. That's right, you can't go in there. I forgot about that.
Command me to build.
But that's fine. Build some upgrades.
Incoming enemy fire.
I'm gonna mobilize for war.
The burden of leadership lies with us.
The thing that is also kind of annoying is, like, if you don't have these guys, like, right next to each other, they keep doing this thing where they, like a dude will be fighting and then the other dudes will be like, oh, no, yeah, I don't think I need to deal with that. Okay, there.
War is nigh.
Put these units back there. Put this down.
All fear the
Put these ladies out.
calling to to them.
song shall guide me. All
But
those that oppose the Eldar shall fear my wrath.
Okay, you
Nothing is hidden from my sight.
go that way.
The Falcon has landed.
All of a sudden, I was like, wait a minute. Suddenly, there was no wind.
We are ready to deliver death to the enemy. We advance quickly toward the target.
I'm glad you advance quickly. Continue to advance. Do all the advancing. Make sure that the advancing is happening.
Fully materialized and prepared for war.
The runes foretold of this place.
Disembarking, we live to move.
I'm glad you lived to move. These guys, the warp spiders, are actually some of my favorite
Runes say our
aspect
paths
warriors.
must cross.
I really enjoy the teleporting around thingy. I like this.
Are the harbingers of death.
I like that they get to be called cool.
We are taking damage.
The Emperor guides my blade.
Well, that's good. I wonder what guides my blade.
To deliver death to the enemy.
I will join the death of death.
Is that true? Can the enemies of man not stand before you? Because they kind of seem like they're standing before you. Like, right now. Okay, I just wanted, like a couple more units before I actually went in there and assaulted their thing, but I guess we'll just go in there and start killing them. Well, we'll go see. I think we might have enough guys that we can just actually go in there and take them out at this point. Well, maybe. Yeah, okay. Well, here, let's just go see. What would probably be better is if I had more support things on my squads, but that's perfectly fine. I'm not really too worried about it. Oh, great, this guy again.
Let us play our part.
Many are called.
Why are so many of you just not doing anything? But it's okay. Because this guy is kind of dumb. I like to imagine that this is actually just a clone of the same guy, and they just keep sending out like this particular guy, and he just keeps getting demolished. And they're like, oh, did another one die? Yeah, another captain died. Okay, well it's fine. We'll probably just send out a new one.
Concentrating all energy on the enemy.
Hmm.
Many are called. Few survive.
I'm not gonna bother wasting my time destroying that thing right now. It's not super important. Is it? Doesn't seem that right. Oh, look, you don't have a observatory anymore. How are you gonna build stuff? Ha ha ha, nerd!
We are ready to strike. Strike them down with all your might. Let us play our part. To the front. We are ready.
Very good. Ah, isn't it glorious to see the destruction of the Imperium? And just to think, we could have not lost any of these guys. We could have had no war. But actually, I don't even know. Kind of sounded from the intro, though, that Tall Deer probably didn't do that much to try and avoid violence here. Playing a little bit like the BL-10 there. Isn't it great that the BL-10 died? Isn't that great? I mean, I guess they didn't die. They're, like, still technically around and stuff like that, but... Yeah, this might actually be a little slow going because I should have had built probably one more unit of the Dragon Lord peoples. Okay.
We are in agreement.
I'm glad we're in agreement because I'm your commander.
Let us play our part.
You're not really allowed to not be in agreement with me, really.
Now our path.
I mean, I'll pretend that I might listen to your advice and stuff like that, but you know, not really. Okay.
Our minds are at your service.
Oh, that one just doesn't... Oh, I forgot that they could actually do that. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna go in here and start blowing up their stuff.
Our paths cross our enemies.
The Emperor guides my way.
Man, imagine if you were also like a Grey Knight and just like losing this many dudes for some like, not even like an important battle, just like some battle.
Incoming enemy fire.
Not even fighting demons or anything either, just like getting shot a bunch by a bunch of Xenos. I mean, a bunch of Xenos that seem pretty much entirely superior to you in terms of firepower, at least at this particular combat, but you know. Where am I? I was gonna say, why are so many of them like not actually?
We will make it ours. Concentrating all energy on the enemy.
Stomp. Stomp. Imagine just being a Space Marine captain, thinking about all this honor and glory, and then just stomp. Oh wait, here, we should probably finish killing those guys.
Concentrating all energy on the enemy fire.
Alrighty. Man, look at all these guys just dying. Aren't Howling Banshees great? Although it was kind of funny that I was talking about, like, man, it seems like they're not really doing that much, and then all of a sudden there's just like a swarm of Space Marines, like, oh wait, maybe they are. Wait, is that? Oh, it is the random group of scouts. Very brave, not very smart. Although I don't really know what else they would do at this point. Alright, everybody go in there and start blowing up this thing. This guy with the Crusade needs to be dead. But yeah, I think Eldar are really cool. I really like their weaponry and their look and all that fun stuff. Yep, there you go. That is part of the reason why I like that so much, because it gives both sides one weak point that is actually, you know, something you have to protect, and you can't just, like, spread around and build, like, a billion different Let's see, what does a ghost helm do? Increases ability. No. Well, I'm having her do a lot of fighting in melee, so I'm gonna give her the Witchblade. We're gonna end our turn. Oh, look at that. The Space Marine's already like, I'm not leaving. You're probably gonna come in over here and invade me in a second. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm not trembling that much, but you know, a little tremble, a little tremble. This is also one that's kind of cool. So as you go through these areas, you can unlock different special units, and you just start with these guys once you get them, which is kind of neat. I'm going to go ahead and go here to try and get more veteran rangers, but also try and just gain more territory, and then try to get fairly quickly into the Space Marine camp.
The Wanderers have returned.
Whoa. That's pretty spooky, don't you think?
We are shaped by fate just as we shape it.
True. True. Philosophy, true. I don't know if I really need to build 2 units of Guardians. I play a lot of the Space Marines, and I know exactly what to build with Space Marines. I know I know what I would build, and I know why I'm building what I'm building and stuff like that. And I know that for the most part with Eldar, but not quite as
Humans have ignored our warnings, and we are here to fulfill our duty.
Oh, they're already running in to try and
Respond in kind.
cause some shenanigans.
Powers are yours.
I mean, if they really wanted, play it like that.
The enemy is within range.
Oop. You're getting shot. Getting shot. Uh-oh. Look at him. It's like, oh, this is weird. Should we not be here, Captain? No, we must stand and look dramatic. Oh, man. This is kind of funny. I wonder how long I can just keep that up.
Fear the judgment of the council. My music.
Okay, here you go. You go.
Have been built.
Oh, man.
Command me to build.
I kind of forget how broken stealth can be in this game.
The burden of leadership lies with us.
Okay, we should probably just go out there and take this from these guys. They're just sitting there. Wait. Yeah, the veterans do okay damage. They don't do amazing damage. Oh man,
Our power
best AI.
our enemies. Incoming enemy fire.
Wait, were they waiting for the? Oh yeah, no. This is clearly a task for the scouts, man. We need those guys there.
Concentrating all energy on the enemy.
Here, I'm just gonna build another scout because it's just funny. I mean, I don't know if that's really like. Okay, yeah, just stop chasing these guys. They're just gonna.
We approach the designated target.
I
Yeah,
know
just-
you would have
just-
need of me.
Just go back there. They're probably gonna come back and like try to
To build.
be asshats anyway.
By the music of creation.
Oh, I need more power. Yeah, I do need more generators here. Let's build a couple of generators while we wait for that point to get captured.
Changed by the music of creation.
Nothing is hidden from
But don't
our
you know? I also really like. See, I think the high elves in Warhammer Fantasy, their helmets are maybe a little too conical. But like something like this is like it looks different. It looks alien, but it's also like
The Wanderers have returned.
But I think it doesn't go quite into the comedic bend because I think some of the
We are shaped by fate.
some of the high elf stuff, especially from Warhammer Fantasy, gets really silly. I also kind of think that the what you call. I'm trying to remember what it's actually called.
We are shaped by fate just as we shape it.
Yeah. Isn't that neat?
I knew you would have need of me.
Well, yeah. Honey, why do you think you'd be here if I... Okay, whatever. Why would I have you here if I wasn't going to use you? It's just silly. It's a silly thought.
Their
Oh.
death is assured.
Oh, is it?
Charge the enemy. I will see their destruction.
The enemy position.
They cannot escape their fate. It is the best course of action.
The burden of leadership lies.
Wait, where are you going?
Space and time retreat from my
This map is also kind of weird because you get to see the enemy encampment, like, really quickly. After it,
Just as we shape it.
because you're, like, kind of, like, right next to each other. It's certainly not the worst map, though. I just think it's a little weird to have, like, the... oh, yeah, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. Wait, where are you guys going?
We return to defend
Actually, wait,
the
here.
craft world.
Go take this, I guess, since it's just there.
The time for war is nigh. We have secured the area just as we shape it. Look, it changes how to imagine what we fear the judgment of the council.
With your eyes? Well, yeah, I can't imagine what you've seen with your eyes. It could be all kinds of things. You could have seen a scary pink elephant. That's very frightening. Very terrifying. What terrors tell me, Ancient One, what terrors have you seen that make you clench your butthole and go,
Survive.
tell me. Well, he's not telling me. I think he wants to keep those secret. He wants to keep those secrets. I mean, hey, I can't entirely blame him. Oh, also the veteran units are actually pretty important just because since everything else is very limited in the amount of things that you have. Just having extra units, especially at the start, and that you don't have to worry about like spending population stuff on, is honestly very, very helpful.
The random hand of fate delivers me to you.
That's good.
The random hand of fate delivers me to you.
Oh, does it now? Was it like the last random hand of fate? The one that you mentioned 2 seconds ago? Probably not. Different hand, right? How many hands does the hand of fate have? That's the real question. The real question is, how many Space Marines could a Space Marine if he was named Jimmy Space? I don't know. Probably a lot.
Shape it. Nothing remains unchanged by the music of creation. Danger has found us.
Has it? Kind of look like they're just hanging out over there. I mean, I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot I can shoot into their base on this map. Wait, okay, back up. Can I build? I can. I'm gonna build another. Just like irritate them. Oh, that is doing more damage to that than I remembered it do. Okay, that's fine though. That's funny. You could divine my next move, or you could just ask me.
Just as we shape it is now in our hands.
Oh, that's good.
I will call it forth from the warp. You
I'm
cannot
glad.
imagine what we have seen with
Actually,
our
wait a minute. I can just sit here and... Oh, no, don't shoot my guardians. Oh, if you don't know, by the way, so guardians are basically just, like, regular people from the craft world who are called upon to defend it in, like, times of need. Hey, back up just a little bit, please. Thank you. Here, focus on these guys for a second just so they die. Now focus on these guys. Dead and dead. They really want to retake this point in particular, which I mean, hey man, if that's just really where you want to take your stand and die, I guess. I mean, that's fine. Oh man. Now I need to just build this thing so we can.
We are shaped
Here,
by
go.
fate just as we shape it.
Go put this down so that we can have cool guy things. The only thing I gotta kind of worry about is that these guys. Okay, you all need to back up. Stop getting so close to the. Yeah, just like back up from like the, you know, stupid like turret that is gonna make you die. I'm gonna keep building this until it's like just incredibly reinforced this one spot, and then they're just gonna keep sending their guys in to die.
Have returned.
Actually, and we're gonna move you over here.
And swift. We walk the path.
Move you here. Oh, this is convenient actually. So part. Could you speed that up a little? I guess it's not that big a deal. Not that big a deal, but you know.
We are
Now you.
shaped by fate just as
I want you. Actually, no. I want you to go back here, build a webway gate, and then you. I want you to build a webway gate here so I can just teleport dudes into combat. This is kind of funny. I feel like it's not supposed to work like that, but you know, I'm just gonna let it because it's funny.
my
Yeah.
music is a pillar upon which whole world.
Now I also think I'm not 100% sure if this is true because it's been a little while since I played just the campaign in this. I think if you build up a base, if you take over the area, you can
Nothing remains unchanged by the music of creation.
if you have to defend the position, I think most of the stuff you build is still back there. Hey, how you doing? You're gonna have to just like run up over there because it's gonna take this lady a minute here. Anyway, so and I often think it's important to just get the upgrades, these upgrades, pretty quick. And now with the webway portal here,
Worlds have been built.
we got
Command me to build.
some good energy. The other nice thing about these webway portals, once they are built, is that
Walk our path. Command
they
me to build.
extend the range in which you can build as Eldar.
We are the messengers of doom.
So one of the cool things about Eldar is that you're actually way less bound to like right next to your base as opposed to a lot of other factions, and it means that you can kind of really stretch out where your stuff is. One of the main things that we're gonna want though before we try to assault that base, we're gonna want some of these the fire dragons because they do a lot of the anti-vehicle and anti-structure stuff.
My music is a pillar upon which whole worlds have been built.
So having them to do that is very helpful. It's also, if you're playing Space Marines, you have an armory, but you know, depending on what you got, it's often a good idea to have multiple of the places that provide upgrade. What? No, that just took. I don't know why.
Danger has found us.
But you also got to be careful because, as you can see here,
The future seems so clear.
there is a lot of dudes here, and yeah, they're putting a lot more fire into us. Uh-oh. Yeah, I probably needed to get more stuff to actually deal with the heavy infantry and stuff like that. It looks like they actually have like two. Yeah, it looks like it could be two bases where they're doing a lot of building. Now, the other thing to be careful with is if you're if your guys,
From my sight.
if your veteran guys, the guys that you get at the start, if they die,
Cannot hide from my
then you have to buy them again. Basically, the more places you conquer and things like that, the more resources you have. And we did manage to beat those guys back there, but that was a we definitely took some losses, and we took more losses than we probably wanted to, especially for wanting to get ready for an assault. For the most part there we did pretty good, but we're gonna move these guys back to be over here.
The enemy cannot hide from my sight. What needs to be
Our
done?
cries herald the coming of great
We
pain
return
for
to
our
defend the
enemies.
craft world.
Well, that's true. So we're gonna do that. We could also probably build another one of these just to build units faster. We might want to try and take some more
Fear the judgment of the
points here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this way with a Guardian squad and see if they have actually...
that only war can bring.
My powers are yours now.
Yeah, dealers of death and stuff, man.
We are ready to we have mastered the art of destruction. Take us within range of the enemy.
We are shaped by
We will take you within range of the enemy.
Here to serve. There is wisdom in your words. Can you take us?
So by having multiple of these things, we also make it so that we have backups. You could argue that I probably should have thought of just building the one right outside of the base here first.
I am the
my
son of
music
fury,
is a
here to
pillar
serve.
on which whole worlds have been built.
Your song shall guide me.
And what we're doing now, though, is since someone just feels the need to be a big bunch of butt munches,
Shall guide me.
is we're gonna start.
If you wish.
I do wish.
Command me to build.
And I'm also gonna start rebuilding this over here with all the defenses it had. So we're gonna take this,
Judgment of the council.
and there you go.
I dream, so shall it be.
We exist to avenge
You
our
have
sisters.
need.
Where is it? So, with all this stuff, though, you can kind of see if you're someone familiar with the other factions in Dawn of War that these guys
Successful.
do play differently, and it's kind of cool to see how differently they can
Us.
end up playing. Because especially, wow, they killed a bunch of my rangers. They're not supposed to do that. That's rude.
Command me to build. We are under enemy fire.
Oh man, they're doing it again. But now we have more. What are you running after? So one of the things that's actually causing a lot of problems here, as you can see, is these heavy bolter turrets. But thanks to having so many of these fire dragons with us now, they're a lot easier to deal with. And once we... Hey, don't just stand where you can be seen and get shot. That's a very silly thing for you to do. Fine. Oh my goodness. The thing is that sometimes these guys are kind of dumb with the way they're directed, because they'll just like kind of run like right into enemy fire, or they'll do stuff like this where it's like they're just kind of like sitting right on the edge of like an enemy killing them, and it's just like, well, there you go. See, like the fire dragons, at least they kill fast and good, which is what we like. You can also kind of tell by just looking at these guys now that we're probably going to win. I think it would be a heck of a thing for them to make a comeback at this point. Because like once you get a decent amount of firepower, especially once you get into the base, it really starts to not matter what they bring. Because you're just going to destroy it before they actually... Okay, there. Now that the actual threats are taken care of, we can just do this. And that should die pretty quickly. Hey. Fine, we'll blow up you two, since apparently we're supposed to. Ooh. There you go. More melt-a-gun. And with that, we have shown the filthy Monkai that we are very cool and good. Now, of course, we like some of the Monkai. Some of the Monkai are cool. They're anti-chaos and stuff, man. And chaos is the great annihilator, the primordial annihilator, man. So by doing this, we're still doing cool stuff with... Okay, stop, just stop fighting. Just give up at this point. Come on. There you go. I like it kind of look like the ending blow there was just the lady or the suit just kicking it. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. You can also do this. This lets you have units just ready to go. I find it very funny that he says for the glory of the Imperium, because that is like 100% just like you're just attacking a different Imperial faction, which... Oh. See, at that point right there, this one right here next to the Necrons is actually a really good one to get, especially if you can get it earlier on, because that is one that gives you Fury. Actually, just, well, I think pops up there. Yeah. Basically, it lets you do 2 turns, which is pretty good one to have early on, which is also why it can be easier to start as the Imperial Guard or Necrons, because you spawn right next to it. But anyway, for right now, we're just gonna call it good where we got them, because you know what's funny about this, actually, I just realized I can actually take out the Tau or the Space Marines. I guess I would rather take out the Space Marines, although the Tau are right next to me and could easily attack my stronghold. So, you know, something to consider, but for right now, we're going to call it good. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you'll enjoy us playing through some of Dark Crusade, or playing through Dark Crusade. I personally really enjoy Dark Crusade. I think it's probably my favorite campaign out of all the Dawn of War games I've played. I just really like this for some reason. And it's been done similar in other games, but I don't think as good as Dark Crusade. I think Dark Crusade has really good writing. The strongholds feel good. I kind of wish we had more factions. Maybe spread out the world a little bit more, but you know, I'll take what we got. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that, and I hope that you know that I love you, and God loves you, and bye, love you, bye. Have a great one.